Redfall finally got a release date, May 2nd, and Arcane's 10-minute gameplay showcase gave me exactly what I wanted. This immersive sim developer known for their attention to detail is finally making a go of the multiplayer open-world genre, and I think they're gonna crush it. If you don't know, Redfall is a single and multiplayer FPS set in a small Americana town overrun by vampires. Arcane is coming with the usual game loop for games of this genre. An overarching narrative with a ton of side quests thrown in the mix. In Redfall, we'll get fetch quests.
There's something I need you to do. The old lighthouse in the bay. If we turn it back on, it's a warning to anyone trying to come to Redfall right now. Well, the lighthouse keeper's a real asshole. Joined up with those cultists and took the damn lamp with him.
Hostage rescue missions.
Redfall is filled with encounters that can pop up anywhere, like this brewery that's fallen under cultist control. Save the locals from being offered to the vampires.
Roguelike dungeons to clear for loot.
Take this vampire nest. These deadly lairs change each time you step inside.
And territory captures to create friendly ground.
Outside the main story, another one of your missions is to take back Redfall neighborhood by neighborhood. Find safe houses hidden all over the island, and then work your way up to the vampire controlling the neighborhood.
But what has me most excited is Arcane is using their talent to explore the world of vampire hunting. If you like games that have a cohesive world filled with small narratives that flush out lore, you'll probably dig this title. My only worry about the game loop is that the formula for clearing nests, fetching items, and taking back territory will become so predictable that immersion completely breaks. That's the main reason I stopped playing Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and other Ubisoft titles. Eventually you know exactly how to tackle each type of point of interest and you start seeing the game within the game. A complete buzzkill. Aside from the human occult members that worship and defend the vampires of Redfall, we finally got to see how Arcane is gonna handle the vampire hierarchy. We'll get the basic cannon fodder vampires that populate the world, easy to beat, but swarms of them can pose a challenge.
And all of the vampires willing to die to protect it.
Horrible way to die. Stirring, alive!
I woke them up! Just one bite.
And it looks like Redfall is going to have 4 different types of sub-bosses or vampires triggered by unique events. The Rook looks like a tank or Warzone's juggernaut that we'll have to deal with from time to time.
Taking down vampires angers the vampire gods, who will summon the Rook to take you down.
The Siphon is a vampire that protects key points of interest for the vampire hierarchy.
To reclaim this neighborhood, you'll have to defeat a powerful vampire called the Siphon.
The Underboss is a more traditional sub-boss that we'll have to defeat to take back neighborhoods.
When you reclaim significant sections of Redfall, the last step is to face the Underboss who controls, or used to control, that neighborhood. Underbosses are powerful elites of the vampire gods, with their own unique abilities, like this one's shield.
And vampire gods are of course main bosses that'll further the main storyline.
A skull that gets you one step closer to facing the ultimate threat, the vampire gods.
My biggest worry about enemy types and boss battles is whether or not Arcane has successfully navigated the difficulty factor. In a game of this scale and depth, over the course of 20 or 30 plus hours, vampire fights that play the same could get boring quickly. Games like Elden Ring, Sekiro, and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance get a pass for having predictable enemy patterns because the point of those games is to get good. Redfall is a game meant for casual players who want to go vampire stomping with friends, or players who enjoy immersive sims. I hope Arcane has built in different difficulties that truly challenge us as we level up. Pray that the solution isn't making enemies spongier. I finished playing Prey the other day. If you haven't played any of Arcane's games, I'd recommend Prey as their signature title. Dishonored is a great series in its own right, but Prey is the complete immersive sim that Arcane has always been trying to get at. Throughout my 7 hours of playtime and knowing Redfall was just around the corner, what stuck out to me the most were the FPS controls. The movement and aiming were perfect for the genre. But I had a recurring thought throughout. I don't want Redfall to control like this. Immersive sims aren't for the casual crowd, and part of the reason is that a certain level of clunkiness is built into the genre. Imagine if a game like Thief controlled like Call of Duty. And since Redfall is a Microsoft exclusive, Arcane needs to make the game feel snappier and more responsive than their past work to appeal to the console audience. Redfall drops on May 2nd and I can't wait. Are you picking this one up? If you're PS5 only, is this worth an Xbox? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to give the vid a like and subscribe to the channel, and as always, stay cool, gentlemen.